Once again, good afternoon. John Verlin, on-demand advertising solutions and other digital marketing update. And today I'm basically answering an email I got from a lady named Tammy. She's a baker, I believe, in Shawnee, Kansas. And her email's basically in capital letters, "What's the big deal about content?" Well, that wasn't in big letters. The following was, "I think it's probably a, quote, big letters, waste of money," unquote. Well, Tammy, thank you for the email. That I love being able to answer these. That's the point of doing a video podcast, to be able to answer questions for people who are listening. Well, it's a great question. And, I read a lot. I see all sides. I've discussed this with business owners. I've discussed it with marketing people. And marketing people, obviously, they come from an expertise background in certain areas. Some are content marketers. Some are search engine optimization, tech types. Everything it used to be a certain way. And I think today you have to incorporate a lot of that into understanding why certain things should be recommended over others. Personally, this is just three things I say, okay? And there may be those that are totally against what I'm saying, but I think the evidence is showing why this is so important. If you see that on the blog post, Mr. Euler's quote, that's a recent quote and about content and why it's so important. But in a nutshell, Tammy, when you create your own content, and this is one reason we recommend surveying your audience, your customers. You should be doing that anyway. I mean, every business should at some point do a survey of what your customers think of you, what products or services they like, any recommendations, that sort of thing. You have to do that to stay up on the current stuff. What's so important today? What maybe a year ago it wasn't that big of a deal. Today it is. So what you're doing when you're creating content, however you create it, you're really doing a couple things, three things. You're crafting your own narrative. You're molding the message, okay? From a marketing standpoint, that makes you way ahead of standardized, automated responses. You're customizing this for your customers and prospects, and you're doing it through you. Okay, this isn't an animated robotic or artificial intelligence thing. This is Tammy coming up with her own solutions for her prospects and customers' situations with baking or buying things from a bakery. And maybe, I'm sure you've created specific pies, cakes, cookies to make you unique from your competition. Well, this is what content will do too. It separates you from your competition. The second thing is you're answering your prospects' questions, or you're being proactive to do that, which they will appreciate. And the third thing is you own it. You own your own content. The content is searchable and it can be creatively promotable. Okay, it's really about building a brand and starting a customer experience is really what content, in my opinion, does, and why it's so great. So, you could say, well, I think I'm wasting money on this. I think I'd be better off buying newspaper ads or TV ads or radio or magazine ads or send out my direct mailers. I think really you need to start at some point and test those various options for you if you haven't already. My experience has been a lot of advertisers will start out with one medium, find it doesn't work, they give it 3 months, they switch to something else, see that doesn't work, they put in a big amount in a certain, like Yellow Pages back when, and they didn't know if that worked or not, they just thought they had to do it because everybody else was doing it. And 50% of the people knew what worked, 50% didn't. So we don't really know specifically for your bakery, and that's why you have to test. And if you try different things, you can study other bakeries in your industry, local industry, other business owners, retail owners, talk it up at an event or something where you meet with other business owners, a chamber or something like that. See what they're doing. The thing I found, at least being in the media, Tammy, many people used to tell me what they did that was successful, and they made me swear not to tell. And they may tell you, "Oh yeah, I'm doing direct mail, and it's a killing." Well, they don't really want you to know what they're doing because they've invested a lot of money, and they may say that, and they may be doing newspaper or Facebook ads, or so you don't know if you're getting the straight scoop, but that's a starting point. Well, okay, getting back to the content creation of whatever it is you do, I would think with a bakery, and particularly videos, obviously photos, things like that. But see, if you put it on a blog, okay, you own this. You can adapt it, change it. You can put audio, video, pictures. Pictures and video are rich content, which are searchable, and they give your website more advantage than the competition if they're not doing this. It allows you to also, on a regular basis, be offering fresh content on that website through your blog. A lot of people who don't think about blogs, it's really, instead of going and rewriting your website every week, you're adding fresh content through blog posts that Google and Bing and those search engines see, and they recognize that as new content. And you're writing really for your customer and your prospect, okay? Now, in your case, and why I like doing these video podcasts is, if you're listening right now, you can tell that you can gauge the personality of the owner. And you can be doing interviews. My plan next year is I'm going to invite business owners on my podcast to talk more about what their experience has been in marketing, what they like, what they don't like, what's worked, what hadn't. I may not get a straight answer out of them, but it's entertaining and engaging and educational and hopefully informative. That's why content in this case, in my case with the video podcast, I like, because I know it's portable. I know people can listen 24/7, and I can promote it through newspaper advertising or radio or Facebook ads or Google AdWords. The link can go right to this blog. Does that make sense? So you can do your newspaper, do whatever you want to promote, say, your website, but when you can direct them to content and information on a regular basis like this, it's fresh, it's new, it's something that you can actually build an audience with. I'm not saying you can't do that on your website, but by inviting for something new, a new recipe we are now debuting, and you're going to see me making it in this 2-minute video. Now think about that. How appealing would that be if you were to advertise a weekly video blog or video podcast or whatever you want to do? You can include, as you see what I'm doing, I include pictures and infographics and all on my post with the video podcast. It's all the budget you have and how you feel you can build on that. But over a period of time, and I think you need to do a little of each. In other words, you don't just do this, you do that, the content, but then you promote it through the various means we talked about with print or direct mail or however you want to do it. So those are supplemental to your content. They're not in and all exclusive of each other. They're all working together to help promote this one thing, and that's your expertise. So that's why content is really a big deal, because it's the one thing of value that people will come to want to know more and to get to know you. Without it, they're just looking at a website that may or may not be really functional very well. So that's why content's so important. It differentiates you from the competition. It personalizes it so that they get to know you personally. And I saw this all the time in radio advertising, where the ads were terrible or the interviewers on a radio show were terrible, but they built a following. And that's what this is all about, because that following begins the customer experience with your brand. Tammy, thank you for the email. I hope this helped. good luck with everything. I'd love to hear if you've tested some things that's worked, not worked. It'd be great. I'd love to share that. Maybe have you on the podcast in the future. John Verlin 12 at AT&T.net is the email, and ondemandadvertisingsolutions.com is the website. And we'll talk to you again